Well, we were talking about William Shatner going into space with our boy Jeff Bezos on a giant penis missile to the sky. And his return back and how emotional it was, and some of the stuff that some celebrities and other fellow actors said, and a very interesting event when he actually touched ground that I am furious about. We're going to be talking about the whole thing. So buckle up, buckaroos. It's time to talk about Mr. Shatner.
Yeah, there's something about Captain Kirk going to space that is just incredibly romantic, especially if you're a Star Trek fan. The fact that he's 90 years old, it's really lost on people. I don't think you realize most people are dead before they're 90. Let's be fair.
Right.
Most people are not alive. And this man went to space at 90 years old. It's unfathomable to me.
To space.
It's interesting because one of the things they talked about after he got down, the launch happened on Wednesday. After he got back, he talked to a couple of different programs, and he talked about the fact that the simulations that they went through beforehand didn't come anywhere near the actual experience. Like, it didn't prepare him for what it was. What he said specifically was, we had a simulator. They simulate what you're going to feel. And he said it didn't come anywhere near close. Here you are going to be in weightlessness, and you've got to grab a hold of something. Don't push too hard with your hands, just your fingertips, because you'll bounce off the ceiling. You can talk about weightlessness all you want, but the feeling of weightlessness, the actual feeling of it is indescribable. That's cool getting that from somebody who we can kind of relate to.
Right. And he's 90, right?
Yeah, he said this is one of those moments where he really felt his age compared to the younger people that were with him.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah, he says, first of all, your body doesn't have any pressure. So suddenly your body is expanding. Secondly, you're floating, and I don't want to turn somersaults. I don't want to throw Skittles. I want to look out the window. So he didn't want to play. He wanted to observe because, he's an older guy, right?
Right. Speaking of that, all right, well, that's a pretty good segue. Can we just segue to this clip real quick of when he hit the ground?
Not only is it different than what you thought, it happened so quickly. You know what the impression I had that I never expected to have is you're shooting up.
Oh my God!
Give me a champagne bottle. Come here. I want one.
I think
I want to hear this. Here. You want a little of this? Okay.
maybe I can explain it and make you understand.
Oh my God.
The champagne showers have begun. Smile.
Before you explain it, can I just say,
Yeah.
chick in the back, shut up! I don't understand why there's two people having a conversation in front of a camera and you're screaming. She sounds like some 10-year-old Twitch chick my kids watch. Look, I'll walk into the room and my kids are sitting there watching some kids play Among Us, and that's what it sounds like. Dude, there's a billionaire and William Shatner standing there talking about space, and you're in the back screaming like a 13-year-old kid on Adderall medication. Come on, bro. It's ridiculous. I know there's a reason for it, but Jesus Christ, I have never been so annoyed. I have never so wanted to reach to the screen and smack someone in the face and tell them to quiet down. The grown-ups are talking. Please continue, Shane.
Well, I understand, but I think you didn't see. Well, the problem here is you get this view from Shatner and Bezos. When they pull out, what you notice is there's actually multiple cameras there, lots of them. Some of those cameras are focused on the young people screaming, and there, of course, there's one over on Bill and Jeff Bezos. But you don't know. It's not like the one on Bill and Jeff Bezos is necessarily taking in the entire scene and reporting on it. So what happens is I don't even think these guys were aware that they were having a conversation. They're celebrating the fact that they've landed safely, they're back, and they've done this thing. And while it's sad because obviously you got this 90-year-old man who is very uncomfortable, very upset, kind of, it's overwhelming him, you can tell, and it's kind of sad. I have a hard time just blaming the other people because I think this was like all of them celebrating together.
But there was
not really
one
just
lady
William
that was
Shatner's
super loud
moment.
though, Shane.
No, I get it. I get it. It was irritating and annoying, and she wasn't she wasn't even one of the ones who went up. No, I totally get that. But I'm just saying, like, your take on this was like the people in the back need to be more respectful. But I think the way that we saw it wasn't necessarily the way it was happening. You know what I'm saying? We saw it as like it was this news event where Jeff and William Shatner are talking, and then there's these annoying people in the background, kind of like a red carpet event or something like that. But I don't think that's what was happening. Yeah,
I get what you're saying, but there was one person in particular that didn't even go up that was making the most amount of noise.
Yeah, there's probably a look at me person and stuff.
I mean, my God.
So I guess it didn't infuriate me because I kind of figured out what was going on, but I can see how from a certain point of view, it would be like annoying. It would have been nice to hear what Bill had to say at that moment, as opposed to what these other people were saying.
I don't know if you experienced this when you're younger, but that's like the guy that is at the bar, you know, he's on his third tequila shot, he's feeling pretty warm, he's talking to his buddies, but there's like a group of like investment bankers doing lines of cocaine in the back, and he's just it's not the right scene for him. He's like, oh,
right.
Man, like, I'm trying to reflect on this, man.
Yeah, no, it's true. And that's what happens when you get older. In fact, after Shatner came back the next day, he appeared on Cuomo Primetime, unfortunately.
Oh God, Cuomo.
And to discuss the profound experience.
Oh, which Cuomo is this? Is this the dumb brother or the corrupt brother? Which one is it?
The corrupt brother is in government, so it's not the
Oh, it's the news Cuomo.
governor.
It's the
Frodo
Cuomo.
But he appeared on the show to discuss the profound experience. The 90-year-old actor revealed that the once-in-a-lifetime trip was incredibly bittersweet. He said, "I wish I had better news and more entertainment and jokes to tell you, but I was moved to tears by what I saw," Shatner said. "And I come back filled with overwhelming sadness and empathy for this beautiful thing we call Earth." Shatner was apparently visibly overcome with emotions while talking about how the trip affected his view on humanity. The usually jovial actor stressed the importance of implementing cleaner business practices and reduce the impact of climate change. Says, "We are at a tipping point. We haven't got time to wait 30 years to argue about a few $1 billion. He says, "You can't bury your head in the sand about global warming and the destruction of the planet and the suicide, which is suicide for all of us." So obviously this had a really huge impact on him, being able to, and he talked before about being in the darkness and then looking down and seeing this blue glow of the earth below him. So it's almost like a religious moment. I can imagine having that sense of, how do you think you would feel going up and looking back at the earth, man?
Yeah, I really wish I can say I wouldn't be like the people in the back throwing Skittles and jumping around, but
no, I'm talking about once you're up there. Like,
no, I know. Like he was talking about them, like they were like playing with Skittles and doing so much else.
Oh yeah,
I might be one of those people though. I might not be as reflective as him.
Got it.
But I totally understand that he has all this he's all these emotions that he's feeling. He's overwhelmed. I mean, if you're gonna put a cap on he's older. You're gonna put a cap on your life. This might be a good way to do it. Talk about the ultimate bucket moment, right?
Yeah.
Although, someone said on Twitter, James Doohan beat him in space. That's true.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is that he was concerned about the G's. He says at 5G, you're pressed, the skin is going back and you're thinking, can I endure this? When will this end? He said, but it's over in a moment because you hit the edge of air that's around us about 50 miles up, and then you're outside of the blue sky. He said it was a humbling experience for him. And quite frankly, the fact that you could even go into a spaceship at 90 just blows my mind. It really does.
Yeah. I mean,
my grandfather died at 85 and he was in no shape to even drive across town. So,
but like you said, I think Shatner, I think they broke the mold when they made Shatner. The guy is, he looks younger than a lot of people that are 10 and 15 years his junior,
That's true. He says he rides horses and that keeps him kind of physically fit. Even though he's 90.
You gotta have a strong core to ride a horse, right?
Yes, you do. Yeah. So,
What if that's
I don't
the
think he's
secret to old
90
age?
biologically.
What if the secret to old age is riding horses?
Wouldn't that be great?
Oh man. If that's the case, I'm getting horses.
Yeah, right. One more thing I want to bring to the story that really you talk about the thing that made you mad. I'll tell you about the thing that made me mad.
This made me so mad too. But I'm gonna let
George
you
Takei.
I'm gonna let you start the party here.
George Takei is such a class act. Sulu, I got to tell you, man, you weren't a star on the show. You had a very few lines. And frankly speaking, on the original series, and you're a crybaby. And the fact that you're going to call William Shatner an unfit guinea pig after space flight, it just shows how much, how selfish you are, how jealous you are. You were jealous back then during the original TOS series. You're jealous, man. That's what it is. It's a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, for real, dude.
William Shatner never even talks about it. Every time it comes up, he doesn't talk. The only person talking about it is George Takei. George has now had a relatively successful career. He's in the annals of history. He's a outspoken LGBTQ person who's made strides for that community. Just let it go, George. Let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love this. He's a guinea pig, 90 years old, and it's important to find out what happens, Takei added as he spoke. F you, bro. So 90 years old is going to show a great deal more on wear and tear of the human body. My opinion of him has gradually gone down over the last 10 years. I used to be a massive George Takei fan. I remember listening to him on Howard Stern where he'd be like, "Oh my," he was funny and he had this whip to him where I'm like, he's maybe he's like a down to earth kind of guy. But then we get to enjoy his unfiltered social media feed and realize that he's sort of a sassy dickhead. And so what we get now is we get someone who's bitter and selfish and jealous of Kirk. Maybe Kirk Shatner. Maybe William Shatner wasn't the nicest guy when he was younger. Maybe he blocked him and wouldn't allow him to be on, to take his camera time. Who knows? But dude, it has been a long time, and the only person still talking about it is you, dude.
I mean, it's possible that Bill, back in his prime days was, I know him and Leonard Nimoy definitely had, so there was competitiveness happening, and you're trying to protect your role, you're trying to do things. Takei has this thing where he says that Shatner changed the script for Star Trek V so that Takei's character wouldn't receive command of a spaceship.
I heard about that. Didn't he still get command though? Wasn't he like captain?
He did. He ended up with command. Yeah, he ended up with command. His daughter ended up in command of the ship in the movie Generations. A Sulu. She was at the helm. Maybe no. Yeah. He said a Sulu at the helm. Remember the whole comment?
Right.
It was his character has seen a lot more development than say like Chekhov.
Right. Chekhov. Yeah, Chekhov got nothing. You don't see Walter Cronkite complaining about Shatner every time he gets a chance.
I mean, they all complain about Bill to some degree, but
right.
What
did Shatner say to he said something about Takei. He said there's a psychosis there. There must be something else inside George that is festering, and it makes him unhappy that he takes it out on me. Why would he go out of his way to denigrate me? He said, "It's sad. I feel nothing but pity for him." Oof.
George Takei is 84 years old. It's now time to be looking at, the end of your life at these last years, trying to, you should be going out with, peace in your heart, not this anger, frustration. Nothing's going to change. You should forgive Shatner for whatever it is and, move on.
Yeah. Oh my.
It's still good. Still good.
It's still pretty good. Yeah.
I like the oh my's.
Oh my. All right, man. Yeah, it was really nice seeing William Shatner, emotional William Shatner coming down from space. I know it's not
it gives us perspective.
Yeah.
Because you always hear from these astronauts who are like, oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous. And William Shatner comes back and he's like, this is like life-changing for me.
Right.
And I think that's amazing.
I'll see you later, Matt. Have a good one, dude. All right. All right. We're done with that. Let us know what you guys think. Did you guys see it come down? How do you feel about Captain Kirk finally making his way to real space? Let us know in the comment section down below. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that button. And while you're down there, you might as well hit the like button and give us a little bit of ring. Okay.
Thanks for watching. To see the full conversation, become a member of the Popcast family. Use the link in the description below or go to our channel and click the join button. Select your tier and we'll see you at the next show.